Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. The topic, why do I feel like I'm not ready to get married? Oh my God. I wish I asked that question of myself, but I didn't know. You know, we're not taught about marriage, and you're not taught about marriage. There's no understanding about marriage. You look at the worldly definition of marriage, and it's just scary. How do you define marriage? So let's ask, how is marriage defined in the world? How do you define marriage?
Marriage means the legally or formally recognized union of two people as partners in a personal relationship, historically, and in some jurisdictions, specifically a union between a man and a woman.
Now I ask you, do you now know what marriage is from the definition? No, the world doesn't know. Here's the real definition of marriage. Because you have to put aside all the Western psychological stuff. You got to put aside all the stuff in magazines. You got to put aside all of these things because people don't know. I used to be a divorce mediator, so I know what marriage isn't. I helped a lot of people get a divorce. Then over 20 years ago, because one of my clients, couple, wanted to stay married, even though the psychologist told them, no, you shouldn't be married, get a divorce, and they sent them to me, and they said, will you help us? And I said, okay, let me look into it. So I talked to some of my psychological friends, and I realized they had no idea what marriage was. As a business person, as a professional, for me, it's common sense. You can't fix something unless you understand it. So I asked the question, why do people get married in the first place? Here we go. Here we go. Now, you should be a subscriber to this channel. You're going to learn so much about marriage, you'll know more than 99.9% of the professionals out there. Why did you get married? Why do you want to get married? Well, you're going, why do I feel like I'm not ready to get married? Well, we get married, forget the person who you're with or not with yet. We get married because we want to be happy. So maybe you feel like you're not ready to get married in your case because maybe you don't feel like you're going to be happily married and you want to experience unconditional love. So is this the right person who you're with now? Most people who ask this question are with somebody and they're being asked, will you marry me? Will you marry me? And I'm going, I don't know if I'm really ready to be married. And then you feel guilty. Why don't I know? When you meet your soulmate and you're in love, those are two important steps. But there's another important step, because your marriage won't be fulfilled with love and harmony and joy unless you know what you're doing. Look at the world. The divorce rate is well over 50%. People tell me, well, the divorce rate is coming down. So are the number of people getting married. They're just moving in together, so the statistics are skewed. But we see it at the Marriage Foundation. People get married without having a clue. And they're like driving a car without ever having learned what the pedals do and the switches do, much less how to really get the right performance out of it. Don't get married until you understand marriage. Now, at your state, the Marriage Foundation, we have a course for dating soulmates. That would be the right one for you if you're at this stage, even if you're already dating, so you could learn how, because there's rules. You know, it's common sense. Just to live, we have rules of life. We call it morality, right? And those are the guardrails. You don't do this, you do this, you don't do that, you do this. And it keeps you steadily on the road to success. Marriage is the same way. You don't do this, you do this. Guess what rule number one is? You have to learn how to master your own mind. Because without that, there's no chance for success. There's no chance for happiness. You see, you're a soul. This is not a religious discussion. You are a soul. You want to marry your soul mate. You have a body, you have a mind, and they're constantly trying to control you, the soul. It's the tail wagging the dog. And if you don't master your mind, if you don't begin the process, you won't find the joy within. And if you don't have the joy within, how's it going to be without? Because your spouse isn't going to bring it to you. Yeah, they'll make you happy because you're with them and you love them, but they're not the source of joy. Okay, I hope this helped you. I really do. I hope you become a subscriber. That will help you. And thank you so much for visiting. God bless you, and take care.